Thank you all for coming to listen to this. I think it's a very poignant time, as you said, off the back of some fantastic talks, the keynote this morning, or the panel with Stormy and the rest of the team. I wasn't actually there to see that panel. I was manning the booths, but I heard it was very good. And so hopefully this will give you some pointers on the types of skills that we need for the future of work, or as we're calling it now, the age of AI, and how do we actually obtain those skills. So before I start, I'll just introduce myself a little bit. So I'm Michelle, or Mish, on the developer relations team at GitHub. This is our beautiful Okta cat from our team. If you'd like that sticker, you can come and see us at the GitHub booth. We have lots and lots of stickers. So you can follow GitHub on pretty much every social media platform known to man as well. We have some fantastic TikToks, videos, and YouTube videos and things like that. Tips and tricks are always giving up as well. And then you can also follow me on all the social medias. So if you're tweeting about this or you want to send out anything, please do, feel free to do that. Now, I'm not sure why this next slide has got my bottom at the end already, which is kind of random, but this is what we're going to cover today. So we're going to cover the age of AI, just really briefly, where are we at, what are we at, and what actually is artificial intelligence. Everyone's talking about it, and I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily define it though. So what actually is it, and why are we so worried about not having a job in this age? Talk about some of the soft skills we need for this age of AI, and we'll talk about working with AI, and then how to obtain those soft skills for working in this new age. So really briefly, the age of AI, we are in this age where artificial intelligence is literally everywhere. Every single person who's using it, who in the room hasn't used AI in some capacity? Right, no one. So right, we've all used it, everyone around the world, and we're all in technology. We tend to use these types of things when they come out relatively quickly, but even outside the technology industry, so many people are using AI, right? It is basically everywhere. Now, I started an AI company back in 2016, back when it wasn't cool, and people had no idea what it is. They just thought, well, it is Jarvis. And back then, we didn't actually have this capability. Now we do. So we are literally living in the age of all the movies and things we used to watch, like Minority Report and maybe even The Terminator, I don't know yet, but Minority Report, the Avengers Endgame, and Age of Ultron. These things are actually here now. So the capabilities that we see in these movies are now available to all of us. Now, you've probably used some of these AI systems yourself, but there are so many things out there, right? There is a lot happening. These are all examples of generative AI, and this is a kind of era that we're in where people are a little bit worried. If AI is generating all these content for us and doing all these things for us, what is actually our place in this, what we're calling the future of work? We used to call it the future of work. I don't really call it that anymore. The future of work is that's gone. We're already in it. Everyone's calling it the age of AI, and hopefully my slides will come back. There we go. Perfect. So with this age of AI and this advent of all these amazing generative AI capabilities, where is our place in this world? Now, I want you to all take out your phones. Can't tell me you don't have a phone in your pocket. So take out your phone and let's have a look if a robot is going to take your job from you. So this is a great website they put out a while. I do wish they would update this. I haven't found a more updated version, but it's still relevant in a lot of senses. So this website, time.com/robots-jobs-machines-work. Scan that code. And when you do, you'll take you to a website like this, and I'll put the QR code still up there. And if you scroll down to about the middle of the page, there is this box that says, will a robot take my job? Put your job title in there, and then it will tell you whether you're safe, not safe, or you might be safe. So software developer, we're here at a developer conference, so you're probably safe. Now keep that website open because we're going to come back to that in a minute. And I just think this is really interesting, right? Is everyone's worried about, are we going to have a job? There's these new machines and things here. But this isn't the first time this has happened. Just one quick example, calculators. When calculators were first, does anyone remember when calculators first came out? Yeah, there's a few people, great, perfect. In my first couple of years of university, calculators were banned, right? So instead of now banning calculators, we now teach people how to use them better. But when these things first came out, people thought accountants would no longer have jobs, right? Are there still accountants around? Yes. The type of work they do is a little bit different, but they still have jobs. The calculators are now enabling those accountants to do their jobs faster and more efficient, right? But why then are people so worried, and apologies about the slides flickering, but why then are people so worried? If these things have happened before, calculators, writing, there's plenty of examples. We're in the fourth industrial revolution. This happened in every industrial revolution. So why are we so worried now with AI? So let's really quickly define AI so we're all on the same page about what it is and why people are so worried. This is a definition from IBM, and it kind of encompasses a lot of the things that AI is, but I love this definition in the sense that AI is something that leverages machines and computers to mimic the problem-solving and decision-making capabilities of the human mind. Now that is what people are worried about. Mimicking me. Okay, so AI is now not just able to do my job, but in a lot of ways able to do it better. Right? How many times have we seen AI doesn't make mistakes and, data filling and things like that? There's a lot of jobs that we do as people that we get tired of that job after a while and we start making mistakes. AI doesn't do that. So if AI is able to do our jobs better, then where is our place in this? I also think this is really an important point because people say, well, is it just a fad then? Is it something that's just here and is just going to go away soon? And we're going to find out in a couple of years' time that was the thing that happened and we don't talk about now. No, AI is here to stay because we've already seen that, the types of waves that it's making, but Goldman Sachs has already predicted that AI is going to raise the global GDP by 7%. So by enabling all this really amazing technology, we're able to do better in the world and create new things. So again, where is our place in all this then? If AI is here and everyone is using it and it's able to raise the GDP and able to do, automate a lot of the jobs and things that we do, and in a lot of ways do some of the jobs that we do as humans better, where is our place? What are the skills we need to ensure that the jobs that are still going to be around and the new jobs that come up as well, because there's lots of new jobs. Every industrial revolution, there's been new jobs come up. Has anyone Googled or had a look on LinkedIn recently about some new AI jobs? Prompt engineer. One of the most widely searched job titles right now, okay? So there's going to be new jobs. Some of the jobs are going to stay around and they're going to change a little bit. So what are the skills we need then to ensure that we can still have the jobs that are going to be around and the new jobs that come out? So these are some of the top skills from, this is a study that LinkedIn did. This is from 2020 now. I do wish I could find the more updated data, but they don't have it out. But from talking to most people and looking at the types of jobs out, these are still the top 5 most in-demand soft skills and the skills that are going to be needed for the future of work or for this age of AI. So creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, and emotional intelligence, right? Now, if we look at these alongside the hard skills that are most in demand, blockchain, cloud computing, analytical reasoning, artificial intelligence, and UX design, we can see that AI is going to be a big part of that. We still need UX designers. Blockchain is still, back in 2020, it was still a bit more of a fad with the whole cryptocurrency thing, but a lot of the technologies we built can be built on blockchain, cloud computing, not going anywhere, right? So those are the hard skills, and I don't have time to talk about those, so I want to focus on some of these soft skills. So let's come back to that website that you had a look at your job, and hopefully you're safe. Hopefully it says you're safe. But if we have a look at that, so you've put in your job, it tells you whether you're probably safe. This percentage I think is really interesting. So the percentage of your job that can be done by a robot versus the percentage of your job that isn't, and these tasks. Now again, I did say this is a little bit out of date. Some of these things that it says a robot can't do, well, they can actually do a lot of these things now. Developing testing routines or procedures. Maybe not the routine, but we've got GitHub Copilot that can go and write a unit test for you, right? So I think some of these things are still really interesting to look at and gives us kind of a ballpark. Again, they're not updated, but it gives us a good ballpark. So we have a look at, some of the things robots can do is all this automation. And even if we have a look at generative AI and things like GitHub Copilot or ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot, a lot of the things they can do are things like the mundane and the repetitive things, right? So if we have a look at the things that we want to do as people, we want to be really creative, and that's one of those things. So robots can do some really great things. We can as people, right? So what I see is, and I've called this AI pair programming because of GitHub Copilot, but it's really AI pair working, right? We need to actually use the AIs and the technologies that are out there and understand how we can benefit from them and how we can work together to achieve the things that we want to achieve. So again, these skills, how do we actually obtain these skills? If these are the skills we need to cultivate and we need to ensure to have a job, how do we get them, right? The hard skills, and this is kind of the reason I don't kind of really talk about these, is we can go do a course on artificial intelligence. We can go do a UX design course. There's things out there to do these. How do we do these soft skills then? This is a little bit harder to do. Now, I know I'm almost at time too because we started a little bit late. But I think that a lot of this covers resilience, right? Is accepting a new reality. The reality is AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. We can fight it or we can accept it. So we need to accept it and let's cultivate these skills. The other one I did want to quickly define is emotional intelligence. A lot of people ask me, what is this idea of emotional intelligence? It is being aware of the control and expressing one's emotions and handling interpersonal relationships. So it's about understanding your own emotions and how you react to things and then understanding other people as well. And that's a very important skill we need. Robots can't really do that. So these skills, how do we get them? I'm going to go through them really, really quickly because we've only got a couple of minutes. The first thing to do is to actually use AI. Now, everyone in the room said they've used it, but use it. Understand the limitations of it. If you understand the limitations, you can understand how you, as a person, can then use that and use the skills you have as people. As developers, if we want, we can actually use some of these APIs to build into the technologies that we are using. If we do this, we can understand how they work. We can understand, again, their limitations, right? For some of these more soft skills, hackathons. Anyone been to a hackathon? I'm also known as a hackathon queen. I love hackathons. Why do I love hackathons? I think hackathons do a lot of things. They build creativity. You have to come up with an idea to a problem. So they do that. Persuasion. You have to persuade the team that you're in to do the thing that you want to do. Collaborate. You have to collaborate with the team. Some hackathons are solo, but most of them are collaborative, right? We have to adapt to new information. We might have to adapt and, have you heard the word pivot in a hackathon, right? We might have to adapt and pivot. We have to have emotional intelligence to understand that sometimes the ideas that we have might not be the best ones. We have to do someone else's idea. Teamwork. Now, teamwork is a bit more broad, but I use this word teamwork because I think it's such a good thing to do in our daily working lives. Any opportunity we have to collaborate with other people in our team is good. Persuasion, we have to persuade other people to come and work within our team and work on the project that we're doing, right? Collaborate. We obviously need to collaborate when we're working in a team. Adaptability, we have to adapt to different information and different circumstances when we're working in a team. And we have to, again, have emotional intelligence to understand how we react to certain situations and how other people do as well. Hiking. Now, not everyone can do this activity for various reasons, but the reason I love hiking is because it really builds that resilience. You have to go through these things and you're doing an activity where in a lot of ways you feel uncomfortable. You're outside your comfort zone. You have to adapt to different situations. So if you can't do hiking, do another activity where you are outside your comfort zone. So I think hiking does some great things. Sometimes you have to come up with creative solutions to problems that you have. You might have only a few things in your pack and you have to come up with an idea of how to solve your thing. Collaborate. If you're hiking in a group, you have to be able to collaborate and communicate together. If you're hiking alone, then you still have to collaborate and communicate with other people on the hike to ensure you're doing the right thing. You have to adapt to different situations. You might have looked at the weather and it's nice and sunny and all of a sudden it's raining. You have to adapt to that. And you have to have emotional intelligence to understand when other members in the group might be more need than you are, right? The other thing I love hiking is you can get disappointed. I was on a hike recently. This was what we were told we were going to see. And then I got up there and I saw squat. Nothing, right? But this is life. Sometimes we go on a hike, we do a thing, we expect to be rewarded, and then we're not. That's life. So I like hiking because it really teaches the idea of resilience and to persevere. Sometimes you are rewarded. Again, that's also life. Being curious, being a curious person, asking questions. Why is something done a certain way? Is something done in a business just because that's the way it's already been? So being creative in what we, curiosity, being able to adapt to different situations, and also having that emotional intelligence to be able to communicate how we need something done. And finally, always be learning. Learning is never done. You're all here at a conference, you're all here learning, but learning can help you build these soft skills, right? Never think that learning is complete. You know, you learn creativity when you're doing new courses. You learn how to collaborate with others, asking for information and understanding information. And you can adapt when you take in new information from that learning, you can adapt it to your own life. So to summarize and recap, use AI, use it as a developer, use it as a user, go to a hackathon, do teamwork whenever you're able to. Hiking or some other activity gets you outside your comfort zone and helps you develop some of these soft skills. Be curious, don't just do something because it's a done thing, and always be learning. So those are the resources from my talk. Thank you so much for listening. I know we started a little bit late, but thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to OpenUK and State of OpenCon for having me, and thank you to Ferret who sponsored this track. And if you do have questions, please feel free to reach out to me on any social media platform known to man or woman or person. And if you'd like to come to the GitHub desk, you can come and see us there as well. So thank you very much for listening.